Hello, in this lecture we will find the area of the blue triangle. As you can see in the drawing, we have a rectangle that contains three right triangles. A right triangle is a triangle that has one angle that is 90 degrees. This angle is 90 degrees. This angle is 90 degrees. Also this angle is 90 degrees. And as I already said, we want to find the area of the blue triangle. And the areas of the three other right triangles are given. We know that the area of this right triangle is 27 units. The area of this right triangle is 12 units. And the area of this right triangle is 15 units. And the only thing that is missing is the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so let's set the width of the rectangle let's set as the width of the rectangle as variable a. Okay, the width of this rectangle set as variable a. Okay, and the length of this rectangle will be set as variable v, as variable b. Okay, the length of this rectangle is b, and the width of this rectangle is a. So we know that the area of a rectangle equals to its length times its width, or in this rectangle the area of this rectangle will be a times b. Okay, so let's set the area, let's set the base of this right triangle as y. Okay, this will be y. This is the base of this triangle. The base of the triangle that is area is 15 units is y, and its height is a. So we can say immediately that the base of this triangle will be b minus y. That is to say, the width of the rectangle minus the base of this triangle. Okay, b minus y is the base of the right triangle whose area is 12 units. Okay, let's set the height of this triangle as x. Okay, the height of the triangle, that its area is 27 units, will be set as x. The base actually of the triangle that its area is 27 units is b, and its height is x. Okay, so you can see that immediately the height of this triangle, the height of the triangle that whose area is 12 units, will be a minus x. That is to say, the width of the rectangle minus the base of the triangle, of this triangle. The width of the rectangle, that is A, minus the height of this triangle, that is x. So A minus x is the height of the triangle whose area is 12 units. Okay, so we know that the formula for the area of a triangle is the base of the triangle times its height all divided by 2. That is the area of a triangle. The base of the triangle times its height divided by 2 is the area of a triangle. So if we implement this formula in order to calculate the area of this right triangle, we do know that the area equals to 15 units. But we want to create the formula for this triangle, that is area is known, it's 15 units, but we want to form or to create the formula for this triangle, for this triangle's area. So the formula of this triangle's area will be its base times its height divided by 2. That is to say, y times a, its base is y, its height is a, so it's y times a divided by 2. Okay, so the first equation will be area of this triangle equals to its base, that is y, times its height, that is a, divided by 2. But we do know that the area equals to 15 units, so we can add that a equals to 15. So in total we have, first equation, 15 equals to y times a divided by 2. Okay, so this is actually the formula of the area of this right triangle. Y, its base times its height, that is a, divided by 2 is the area of this right triangle that we know that is equals to 15 units. Okay, now we will move to this right triangle and we will create the area of this right triangle that we all have already know that the area equals to 27 units, but we want to create the formula for this area, for this triangle, right triangle, that is area is 27 units. So the area of this triangle will be its base, that is b, times its height, that is x, divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle, but we know that the area equals to 27 units, so we can write immediately equals to 27. A equals to 27. So in total the second equation for the area of this triangle will be b times x divided by 2 equals to the area that is known, it is 27 units. Okay, and the last right triangle is this triangle that we know the area of this triangle is 12 units, but now we want to create the formula for the area of this triangle, this right triangle. So the area of this triangle will be its base, that is b minus y, times its height, that is a minus x, all divided by 2. That will be the area of this triangle. But we have already know that the area equals to 12 units, so we can add that the area equals to 12 units. So that will be the third equation. I will write it again. That is the area of this right triangle, the white right triangle. 12 equals to the base of the triangle, that is b minus y, times the height of this triangle, that is a minus x, all divided by 2. Okay, the next step will be, actually we will take x and y out of the equation. We will take y out of the first equation, and we will take x out of the second equation. Okay, so we will start with the first equation. the first equation we have 15 equals to y times a divided by 2, so we can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that 30 equals to y times a. We will divide both sides of the equation by a. So we will get that y equals to 30 over a. Okay? So we took out y. We took y out of the equation, and we have an equation that says y equals 30 over a. Now we will take x out of the second equation. The second equation is b times x divided by 2 equals to 27. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that b times x equals to 54. Okay. Now we can divide both sides of the equation by b, because b can never be 0. b is the length of this rectangle, so it can never be 0. So we can divide both sides of the equation by b. So we will get that x equals to 54 over b. Okay, so actually we took x out of the equation, and we got that x equals to 54 over b. And in the first equation we also got that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, so the next step will be that we will substitute x and y in the third equation. Instead of x, we can write in the third equation 54 over b, and instead of y, or we can substitute y by 30 over a, because they are equal to each other. So I will copy again the third equation. The third equation is equals to b minus y times a minus x, all divided by 2. First of all, we can multiply both sides of the equation by 2, and we will get that 24 equals to b minus y times a minus x. So, as I already told you, now we will substitute x and y, and instead of x we will write 54 over b, and instead of y we will write in the third equation 30 over a. Okay, (34) equals to b minus y, and instead of y we will write 30 over a times a minus x, and instead of x we will write 54 over b. Okay, so as you can see here, we substituted y by 30 over 8 because they are equal to each other, so we can substitute between them. And here is a minus x, and instead of x we wrote 54 over b. Okay, so now we can open the brackets. (24) equals to b times a is ba, or ab, it is the same. B times minus 54 over b will be minus 54. Minus 30 over a times a will be minus 30, and minus 30 over a times minus 54 over b will be 1620 over ab. Okay, so we actually opened the brackets. B times a is ab, b times minus 54 over b will be minus 54. 30 over a times minus a will be minus 30, and minus 30 over a times minus 54 over b will be 1620 over AB. So now we will subtract 24 from both sides of the equation, and we will get that a b minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 plus 1620 over AB equals to 0. Now minus 54 minus 30 and minus 24 equals to minus 108, so we will write it down. Okay, minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to minus 108. So we write it down. Okay, so here we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB. Again, A is a positive number, and because it is the length of a rectangle, and B is the width of a rectangle, so it also must be positive number, and A times B must be also positive because it is positive number times positive number, so A times B can never be 0, so we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB. Okay, so we will do it now, we will write it down. AB times AB is AB squared negative 108 times AB is minus 108 AB, and 1618 over AB times AB is 1618. 1620 over AB times AB is 1620, all equals to 0. So here we multiply both sides of the equation by AB. AB times AB is AB squared. Negative 108 times AB will be negative 108 AB, and 1620 over AB times AB will be 1620. So we have here a quadratic equation, and actually the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Okay, so this is the general form of a quadratic equation, and actually A, B, and C are the coefficients of a quadratic equation. Okay, A, B, and C are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. Okay, and actually the variable of this quadratic equation is x. Okay, so in a quadratic equation, the variable is x, and we want to find x. So x is the root of a quadratic equation. X is the variable that we want to find in a quadratic equation, and we have a general equation for the variable x, and the general equation for the variable x that we want to find is actually x equals to minus b. B is the coefficient of the quadratic equation, plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2, but by 2a. So usually we will have two different solutions to a quadratic equation, or two roots of the quadratic equation. And as I already told you, a, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable of the quadratic equation that we want to find. So in order to find x, we have a special equation. We have a special equation that we will use in order to solve a quadratic equation. That is to say, to find the value of the variable x. And usually we have two values. We will have two values for x. And in our example, we will also have two values. Okay, now we can implement this thing in order to solve our quadratic equation. And in our quadratic equation, the variable is a times b, and we will find a, b, and c immediately. Okay, this is the general form of a quadratic equation. A, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable of a quadratic equation that we want to find. And in order to find x, we have a special equation that will help us in order to find the variable x. And in this equation, as I already told you, a, b, and c are the coefficients of this general quadratic equation. So we will implement what we learned now in our quadratic equation. Our quadratic equation is AB square. You should also remember that A is the width of the rectangle and B is the length of the rectangle, of this rectangle. So A times B is the width times the length of the rectangle equals to the area of that rectangle. So AB is actually the area of this rectangle. Okay, so you can see that the area of this rectangle minus the areas of the three right triangles equals to the area of the blue triangle. And this is exactly what we wanted to find. So when we will find to what AB equals, we will actually find the area of this rectangle, and we will simply deduct from the area that we found for the rectangle, that is to say the value of AB, we will deduct the areas of the three right triangles that is already given to us, and in this way we will find the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so first of all I will write down the quadratic formula that we created, that is AB squared minus 108 AB plus 1620 equals to 0. Okay, so this is our quadratic equation, and we want to find the variable. Our variable is AB. As x is the variable in this general quadratic equation, AB is the variable in our quadratic equation. So in order to find the value of AB, first of all we will determine to what are the coefficients of this quadratic equation. That is to say, to what is the values of A, B and C on this specific quadratic equation. So as you can see here, A is equals to 1, because it is like 1 times AB squared is exactly like AB squared, or we can write down that this quadratic formula actually equals to 1 times AB squared minus 108 AB plus 1620 equals to 0. So as you can see here, yes, I will write down the general equation, the general quadratic equation. It is A times x squared plus B x plus C equals to 0. So as you can see here, actually the variable x is AB, x equals to AB, A equals to 1, B equals to minus 108, and C equals to 1620. Okay, so I will write it down. A equals to 1, B equals to minus 108, and C equals to 1620. Okay. Okay. A equals to 1, B equals to minus 108, and C equals to 1620. So now we will use the equation for x in order to find what is the value of x. So in our example, as you can see here, x equals to AB. Okay, so instead of x, we will write AB because we want to find the value of AB. And AB is also the area of the rectangle. Okay, so I will write again the general equation for x. That is to say, it is the variable of the quadratic equation that we want to find, and in our example x equals to AB. So it is x minus b plus minus. So usually we will have two solutions, two values for x or two values for AB in our specific example. So as I have already told you, here x equals to AB, so I will write it down. Instead of x, I will write AB. AB equals to minus b. We found out that b equals to negative 108. So minus b is minus 108, and minus is plus. So minus b will be 108 because it is minus 108, so it will be 108 plus minus b squared will be minus 108 squared minus 4a is 4 times 1. C equals to 1620, so we will write it times 1680, all divided by 2a, and 2a is 2 times 1, yes, and 2 times 1 equals to 2. So actually here I will do the calculation. minus 108 square equals to 11,664 minus 4 times 1620 equals to 6,480, all divided by 2. So here 11,664 minus 6,180 equals to 5,184 and the root of 5,184 is 72. So we will have here two answers. 108 plus 72 divided by 2 108 plus 72 is 180, and when we divide it by 2 we will get that it equals to 90. So the first answer is that AB equals to 90, but we have also the second answer that will be 180 minus 72 all divided by 2. So 180 minus 72 equals to 36, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. So the second solution for AB of the quadratic equation is 18. But as you can see here, the area of the rectangle cannot be 18 units, because the rectangle itself contains 3 right triangles that they have area of 27 units, 12 units and 15 units. So the rectangle contains 3 right triangles that their total areas is 54 units. So the rectangle itself must be greater than 54 units. So the answer of 12 units is not possible. So the only answer that is left is that the area of this rectangle equals to 90 units. Okay, and 90 units minus the areas of the three right triangles the area of the rectangle minus the areas of the three right triangles will be the area of the blue triangle. So it will be the area of the triangle that is 90 units minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles that are 27 units plus 12 units plus 15 units will be the area of the blue triangle. That is to say, it is 90 minus 54 equals to 36 units. Okay, so the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. Okay, so the area of this blue triangle equals to 36 units. Okay, so we can summarize the lecture and say that we wanted to find the area of the blue triangle, and as we know that the area of the blue triangle equals to the area of the area of the rectangle minus the area of the three right triangle that is given already. So if we deduct from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the right triangles, we will get the area of the blue triangles. So in order to find the area of the rectangle, that is actually A times B, we actually created three equations. The first equation was the formula for this right triangle that we know the area of it. So it was A times Y divided by 2, that is the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 equals to the area of this right triangle, that is 15. And the area of this right triangle, the second equation, that is its base, that is b times its height x divided by 2. So b times x equals the area of this triangle, that equals to 27. And the third equation that we created actually was the area of this right triangle, that is the base of this right triangle, that is b minus y times the height of this triangle, that is a minus x, all divided by 2. And this area equals to 12. So actually we created those three equations for the areas of the three right triangles, and in this way we got a quadratic equation that the variable of this quadratic equation actually was AB. And I actually presented you the general formula for a right equation of a quadratic equation. This is the general formula for a quadratic equation, and we have the formula for the variable x that in our example it was AB, and AB is the area of the rectangle that we want to find. So we found the AB, that is the area of the rectangle, by solving the quadratic equation, this quadratic equation. And after we found the area of this rectangle, we subtracted from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the free rectangle, the sum of the areas of the free triangles that is given to us, and the outcome is the area of the blue triangle that we wanted to find. Okay, thank you very much.